Rose stitch first. Draw 5 straight lines based on the flower pattern. Let the needle pass through the center of the flower. The needle goes through every other straight line. Until the pattern is filled. Don't pull too tight when winding. Make the pattern as full as possible. Seal it up and run it through the bottom of the flower. Rose stitch 2 first. Draw 5 straight lines based on the flower pattern. Let the needle pass through the center of the flower. The third stitch is a step backwards. Go through 2 lines at the same time. Then repeat the previous steps until the pattern fills up. Fly stitch. The needle comes out at the bottom. Next, point through the embroidered fabric. Left hand knot tight. The third stitch is in the middle. Thread through the left hand and pull tight. Then cross a fourth stitch in an adjacent position. Fern stitch. Stitch a straight line forward. The next stitch goes through the bottom and then through the back. Then the needle is stitched between left and right. Back stitch. First embroider a straight line. Stitch forward and then back. French bean stitch. The needle comes through the bottom. Don't tighten the left hand and wrap the thread around the needle, and then through the fabric. Be careful not to pull too tight. Pistol stitch. The needle comes out from the bottom. Hold the thread in your left hand and wrap it around the needle once, and then stitch forward. Keep the thread on the left hand open. Then slowly tighten the thread on the right hand. Cartwheel stitch. The needle comes out at the bottom. Cross the embroidered fabric at the center point. Leave your left hand open. Cross the third stitch next to the first stitch. Then move a stitch toward the center. Here's the cartwheel stitch. Couching stitch. The needle passes through the bottom and is fixed at regular intervals. This is fly stitch. Fluffy embroidery. Put a needle down from above the fabric. No knot at the end. Then move a stitch forward from under the fabric. The third stitch goes through the fabric. Left hand thread not pulled tight. Then take the needle from the bottom of the center and go forward one stitch. Leaf stitch. Start with the stitch down from the top of the leaf. Then embroider to the left and right of the bottom of the line until the pattern is filled. Chrysanthemum leaf embroidery. Threading needles from the bottom and stitching in adjacent positions. Left hand stitch is not pulled tight. The third needle comes through the bottom. Cross the left hand thread and pull it tight. Form the shape of a petal. And then the stitch goes through the fabric. This is chrysanthemum leaf embroidery. This is contour embroidery. The needle comes out from the bottom and moves forward one stitch. Left hand not tight. The third needle goes back and comes out in the middle. Pull the thread tight and keep moving the stitch forward. Here is chrysanthemum leaf embroidery. Here is contour embroidery. Here is pistil stitch. This is fluffy embroidery. The thread can be left longer when embroidering the fluff. Cut off the excess thread when you have finished embroidering. Tulip embroidery. The needle comes out from the bottom and then goes through the adjacent position. Next, the needle comes out from the bottom center. Fix the adjacent position with a stitch. Then the needle came out from the fabric. Cross the fixed line at the bottom. Then embroider the next point of the fabric. Here is contour embroidery. Here is tulip embroidery. Here is rose embroidery. Bow embroidery. First tie a bow with embroidery thread. Then fix the bow onto the embroidered fabric with a needle. The flower basket is embroidered by row stitch 2. First, embroider the straight lines. Then the needle passes through the straight line of the embroidery.